Okay. Let's go. How are we doing on this fine 31-degree, windy, sunny? We got sunshine Friday morning. I'll take the sun. Although, man, yesterday I went to the grocery store, coming out 26 degrees with 25-mile-an-hour winds. It's cold, man. I'm tired. Cold. You guys get the drill. So, real quick before we jump into the chat, what did we end up last night with? So, probably nothing good, right? I saw this earlier anyway. So, the Sharks beat the Caps. It's good. The Penguins beat the Flyers. Not good. Jackets beat the Canucks. The Sabres beat the Canadians. That probably hurts us more than helps us. At least they didn't go to overtime. The Jets beat the Wild. The Bruins won't stop. They beat the Kraken 4-2. The Flames beat the Blackhawks 3-1. The Mammoth beat the Stars 2-1. The Islanders shut out the Oilers 1-zippity-doo-dah. And the Knights beat the Leafs in overtime. No, Mitch Marner did not score the game-winning goal. He didn't score any goals. And so that puts us Panthers at this point 5 points out of both the 7 and 8 seed, with one stinking game in hand. No, we got 3 games in hand on Boston. So we're at 51 points, and Buffalo's at 56. They need to stop. Stop, Buffalo. Enough. So, how we doing? Hey, Nano, did I see the White House visit? Trump called Ekblad egg blood. Poor guy was the only one who didn't get a handshake from the list of players Trump called out. Mike's watching it again. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get a whole lot done this morning because I got a blasting headache. The headache came back, but I didn't want to skip out today, so I'm here. So I figured I didn't watch a whole bunch of stuff before the show so that the headache wouldn't get worse. Because if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be here with you all. Scientists, Balinskis extended for 2 more years at 8.75. So that could be our trade deadline. That's our trade deadline upgrade at defense. That's our trade deadline upgrade over Petrie. You guys think I'm making that up? Mike said egg blood kind of like that new nickname sounds dangerous. Yeah, why not, right? Yeah. Bennett almost put Trump on LTIR with his handshake. Yeah, Ekblad turns into egg blood in the playoffs, right? Colin, you think it'll be Bob tonight, Tarasov tomorrow? Nothing would surprise. What do we got? Canes and Capitals? Yeah, you're probably right. So we had a Schwint, Boquist, and Cunnin fourth line today. No Chucky. All the other lines remain the same. So, yeah, hopefully Schwint can pick up where he left off. Colin, good to see you. Bucks, hungry. The Ravens interviewed McDaniel. Please, God, let it. I didn't watch the video, but I saw a thumbnail. I think it was from Locked On Eagles, or it was some Eagles show podcast. And the title of the video basically was like, please let McDaniel call plays for us next year. And I let out an audible laugh. Science says both Gregor and Bornfoot can go to Charlotte. Studnicka would have to clear waivers. Word is the Panthers are currently working on clearing some cap space right now. Right. So, yeah. That would probably do it, right? Gregor, Bornfoot, Studs might need one more move. None of those 3 were at practice today. Okay. Real says the Leafs had a 3-1 lead at the end of the first and lost 6-5. Yeah, I know. They still did get the point. Hey, Miami Sports. JC Shines, good to see you. Mike says just need to focus on getting the 8 seed at this point. Pretty much. It's pretty much it, man. It's just like everybody else has gone on decent sized runs this year. I mean, Bruins have won 5 in a row again. We know the Leafs did. Lightning are, in the middle of things. I don't think we won 4 straight. I know we won 3 straight a couple of times, but I don't think we've won 4 straight. Goat Slayer says we're getting pushed down the Atlantic, but still have hope that we can claw our way back in. Still a lot of season left for our guys to come back. Craig says it's fine. Everything's fine. Greg says when Kulikov comes back is the upgrade. Yeah, Kulikov-Balinskis. Kulikov-Balinskis and have Petrie be 70. Lil J says we'll take the 8 seed. The Sabres can get their playoff appearance at 7, and we need Philly, Washington, Tampa, Pittsburgh, Toronto, etc. to stop. Just stop. Exactly. Somebody, please. Shine says, I find it hard to believe that 95% Chucky isn't better than anyone on the current 4 Flying. Get your ass in the game, Matthew. The question would be, why is he still 95%? Like, we are now in mid-January and he still doesn't feel right to go. Was he at practice today? Did he give it a go at practice today? Hungry says, kind of shocked Hockey Psychology had Bennett in his Olympic snubs video, and he did call it a personal decision by Cooper. I think I watched that one. That was a little while ago, right? That was like last week, I think. I think I saw that. Yeah, I think he said Bennett was like the one that he was most surprised about, right? What can tell me Mike Daniels? What, Bucks? Yeah, they must enjoy bubble screens and goal line fades to short receivers. Like, I don't know which one is worth. In fact, he started calling less bubble screens and started calling more of the fades. I don't understand it either. Well, at least he's not with us anymore. Well, yeah. Eric Craig says Chris Schuler for coach's dad and uncle would have plenty of insight for him to do a decent job. I just wonder if Ross would avoid hiring a Shula because he would feel like people felt like he only got the job because he's a Shula. Ross is a little bit weird that way. Which, by the way, did you guys see that he named that his son-in-law is going to take over and run the team when he's done doing it. So talk about marrying into success, we shall say. He's doing a virtual interview with them. Gotcha. Al says, unless we win these back-to-back games, we're pretty much out. I mean, are you talking about division? Or are you talking about the wild card? There's still time. I mean, we can't lose both games. Like, we can't end up, 5 points. We can't be getting 7-9 points out. Goat says there's an Eastern Conference coordinated coup to do whatever it takes to keep us out of a spot. If a West team should win, they'll drop it for the Eastern team just so they can advance. Kachuk was practicing today. Okay, that's good. But Maurice didn't talk about it. Well, he was at practice, but not in the line rushes, right? I mean, we kind of figured, or at least I said, that, they're not going to play him back to back to start things off. So maybe tomorrow. Oh, the Bucks. The Bucks are interviewing Mike McDaniel. That's what you're saying, Bucks? Ooh. The way I'll phrase, I'll give you one long run-on sentence. McDaniel is a guy that you want to do well, like that goofy neighbor kid that you want him to do well, and you have faith that he's going to do well, and you pump his tires. But in the end, he just continues to make the same stupid mistake over and over and over again until you either have to fire him or gouge your eyeballs out. Hey, Simon. Man, I don't know. That Simon's asking when I think some of the injured players are going to come back. Well, we might get Schwint back tonight. It sounds like we might get Schwint back tonight. So that's good news. Al says, just imagine if Tkachuk didn't wait to have surgery. Hindsight's always perfect, right? So I guess we all kind of felt it's all right, Chucky. We're good, right? We got plenty of guys. We're good. And then the ceiling caved in on us. Hopefully, Simon, the Sharks, for Nick's sake, will make it, right? Like, Sharks are in decent spot right now. They're in the 8th seed. Unbelievable. Kraken and Sharks are in. The Ducks, at least they finally won a game. Jeez. Blackhawks are not quite ready yet, and the Preds haven't quit. Al says we have to win both games because Boston and Buffalo keep winning. The Leafs have won a ton too and get a point yesterday. So how many goals are we giving the Canes tonight before crushing their dreams again? It depends on who's in net. If Tarasov's in, does anybody know who's in net tonight? If Tarasov's in, we're only allowed to score 2 goals. Maybe a third. Hungry said, yeah, exactly, Hungry. I was going to say he is that kid until he found a kilo of coke. Yeah, scientists, the Canucks are a lost cause. Real says, as someone who has the best interest of Tampa in mind, I think that McDaniel is the greatest play caller in the history of the NFL, and they should make him their head coach. Lifetime contract. I mean, I'm a little surprised that he's just immediately getting head coaching interviews and he's not having to take we're going to make you an offensive coordinator again route. I guess it could happen. He hasn't gotten any of these jobs. But what is there, 10, 11 openings? Or 7? What is it? There's a lot of openings. Yeah, scientists, the Jets, man, that's just crazy. I mean, to go from President's Trophy to where they are now, the Canucks are probably looking at the number 1 pick, though, right? I'm not going to say they got that completely wrapped up, but most likely the Canucks are looking at the number 1 pick. Hey, David, how you doing? Oh, he's offensive coordinator interview for the Bucks. Oh, okay. What I will say is this, Bucks. This last season, he did seem to learn a little bit. Like when he realized he needed to run, lean on the running game, he did. But what he consistently will do is you'll run the ball down the opponent's throat and then get 1st and 5, and then he's going to throw a bubble screen. He's going to run a reverse. He's going to do a pitch sweep or a fade to your smallest wide receiver in the corner of the end zone. It's basically what he's going to do. Dave says 43 degrees here, just uncalled for. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hungry says, with their luck, the Sens will get the 1st overall and still not get it because they had to forfeit that pick. Oh, that's right. Jets are just making damn sure they don't get that President's Trophy. Alice, tomorrow our division rivals have easy games: Bruins versus Blackhawks, Canadians versus Sens, Leafs, Jets, and Sabres versus the injured Wild. I can't believe you have the words division rivals and Sabres in the same sentence, and you're not wrong. We're going to have to get hot. We're going to have to get on a hot streak. What the hell, Chucky? Hello, Chicken Chuck. What? Maybe tomorrow, right? What's tomorrow? The Capitals, right? So we were in Washington, and then we go back to Carolina tonight, and then back to Washington tomorrow. Yeah, sure. Why not? That makes a lot of sense. Goldschmidt's good to go tonight. We'll take that. Bobrovsky's in net. Good. Oh, you got Bucks. You got the Avs as the best team. I mean, right now, sure. Right now, the Avs are lightning rounds. What the hell did I get that from? Who remembers doing Neil Rogers on Friday for the lightning round? It's Friday. Maybe we should do that here. That's what we should do. I'll get a phone number that you guys can call in. Who remembers Neil Rogers in the lightning round? What the lightning round was I guess it was either the last hour or 15 minutes of the Friday show. And he wouldn't screen the calls. And he would just put people on the air. And they had, but it was just real quick. You know what I mean? So you could just get out one smart ass sentence or something like that, whatever stupid shit you wanted to say, and then he'd just go to the next guy, the next guy, the next guy. Maybe we'll just start doing a lightning round on Friday, the last 15 minutes of the stream. I had to get a call and phone number. Is Marchand back? I haven't heard. I'm not so sure. Not so sure. I think we were told Mikula was okay. Real. Hungry says, "Oh no, we're winning 5-4." Then, yeah, if Bobrovsky's in net, yeah. David says, in all honesty, before Tua was broken, when Hill only had like 9 kids, the offense was pretty good. Yeah, it was. But it was very good for some very specific reasons that aren't really sustainable. You know what I mean? It was just ridiculous how many times Tua could just chuck the ball up 30, 40 yards and Hill would just go get it. But yeah, I don't blame Mike for Tua's injuries. There's none he could have done there. But I still feel like this year especially, he could have done more with what we had. Yeah, we play again Monday. Hey, Seabass. Scientist says if Studnicka is placed on waivers at 2 p.m., I'm assuming Chucky will be back tomorrow. Sounds about right. Not yet, Goat Slayer. I want to get through this weekend. I woke up at 4:00 this morning because I had a bad headache. Kyle hadn't gone to sleep yet. So I got to let him sleep. We're going to get through this weekend because we got today, we got tomorrow, we got football Sunday, then we got hockey and the championship game on Monday, and then probably starting next week is when we'll have it during the intermissions. Yeah, real, exactly. It was good against bad teams. That too. So yeah, good luck to whoever hires McDaniel. You'll enjoy his press conferences for about 5 minutes. Where was the other? Oh, I thought maybe he'd go to Tennessee. Right? That's where Ward is, right? I thought maybe he'd go to Tennessee. Did he get an interview there? We'll see. I hope he does okay. He's a good dude. Scientist says, so it looks like Vilmanis won the roster spot between him, Gregor, and Studnicka. There you go. I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, we got a full schedule. That's for sure. Now, I know football-wise, I know that we're doing the Sunday night game, the Rams Bears. I know we're doing that. I'm not sure, to be determined in terms of what my streaming partner is going to be up to doing, because Saturday we got a Panther game as well. So we'll see. Texans Patriots is probably going to be 6-3 anyway. He interviewed for Tennessee, Cleveland, Baltimore. Jeez. Huh. Well, Simon, I'm happy they got a chance to go, right? Because if they go, that means they're the Cup champs. I try to stay out of all the on this channel anyway. Try to stay out of all of the politics of the whole thing. I'm sure the comments were reasonable, and everybody was agreeable in the comments. I'm sure. Yeah, David. Bears Rams should be a heck of a game, right? What's the over/under, David, on points scored in the fourth quarter of that game? I say 40. And I would say 42, but the way this year goes, I'm saying 40 because there'll be 2 missed extra points. Yeah, I think 40 points in the fourth quarter of that game is probably what we're headed for. Dave says Chucky said he was very honored, but the Canadians seemed upset. Huh. Well, yeah, I guess, it's interesting, right? Yeah. Interesting time. We don't have any players from Greenland, do we? Don't get me started, man. The world is weird. Shine says, yeah, no, it's the playoffs now. Oh, not the Cats Canadians, the one you saw in the chat. Oh, okay, David. I understand now. Okay, thanks for clarifying. Yeah. We'll be okay. We'll be there again next year, right? Or maybe they'll win again. Let me see. How many more years? Let me see. This is 26, 27, 28. So I think the Panthers' goal should be, but they didn't see Biden, even though they won while he was still in office. They waited to see Trump the first time. I was going to say the Panthers' goal should be to have met 3 different presidents, but they met Trump twice. So, because I'm thinking after he's in for what, 2 more years, 3 more years, whatever it is. Like if we win, let me see, 26, 27. If we win at the end of 28, if we win in 28, then we would be likely going to see a new president in 29. David says the NHL guys are too classy to do stupid stuff in public, at least. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll be okay. The world won't end. The world's not coming to an end. So what games do we have today? Not that much. Panthers, Hurricanes, Sharks, Wings. Go Sharks. Lightning, Blues. Forget about it. Preds and the Avalanche. And then the Ducks and the Kings. So there's just the one game. Well, 2 games. But, I hardly count. We're not really chasing any of the teams there. We're not really chasing the Lightning or the Wings at this point, right? And, Canes let them win their division, so it's no big deal on us there. So, nothing really is going to – I can't believe the freaking Bruins again, man. Right? And we had, 7-2-1. The Sabres are 8-2-0. Like, of the teams that are in the top of the division, except for the Senators, we've been the worst in the last 10. So we're kind of lucky to still be where we are. Florida says Biden calling Bettman Batman and Hedman and then cracking up behind him will live rent-free in your memory. Yeah. We've seen some fun. Did they did anybody ever meet with Reagan? Was the NHL doing that back then? Because he was a character. Just was wondering if he would have said anything fun. I know that the football players, I think. When did the NHL start meeting the presidents? David says, I guess Seahawks quarterback has a torn abductor muscle, but he says he's going to play anyway. Jeez. Huh. That's, what's his name? Darnold, right? So he's not going to be able to move to him. Can he step into a throw? I mean, I guess if Chucky can play hockey with it, right? I guess if he can swivel his hips. Hey, Vincent, I think Schwint might be in tonight. We might be getting Schwint back tonight. So that's one good. That's one decent piece back. But I think that's it right now. And they gave Belinskas a 2-year extension. He's played well. So to me, that kind of, in my opinion, that might mean we may not be looking to make any moves on defense. In fact, the only way we'd be able to make a move on defense at this point, as long as Barkov's coming back, would be if we traded Petrie back in the deal. Hey, Dana, how you doing? Dana says it's a great honor to be able to go to the White House, and they look like they loved it, and I know I loved it. Yeah, I'm glad I get to go do these things. You know what I mean? It's we need some fun. We need people to relax about things, right? David says 49ers don't have a cup, so maybe this evens up a bit. Either CMC has a huge day. Oh, chat went too fast on me. Or the Seahawks defense does. The Seahawks defense is a pain in the ass. Scientist says it'd be nice to have a right shot at right D, but I don't mind a Kulikov Belinskas third pair. Yeah, JC says Zito may not make any moves until absolutely needed, and this won't happen until a couple of weeks after the Olympics. Well, they're going to wait every possible last second for Barkov, right? I mean, we're getting to that point. Was it March 6th? So what do we got? Well, he's still got about 6 weeks, 7 weeks before they have to make their final decision. And even then, even if they decide to use all of Barkov's money, yeah, we will have some space. So without Barkov, you're still going to probably want to keep Rodriguez at 3C, right? Like the only spot, if Barkov wasn't coming back, Lindell, Lusteran, and Reinhardt, Bennett with Kachuk, Samoskevich, Marchand could be in that mix. Could be Bennett with Kachuk and Marchand, actually, maybe. I don't know. And then Rodriguez with Verhaeghe and either Samoskevich, or if you wanted to pick up somebody using Barkov's money, that's where you could send Samoskevich to the AHL if you really wanted to. You don't even have to move him. And then your fourth line would be Schwint, Cunnin, Greer, Gadjevich. That would be what you'd have. And I believe we'd fit that into the cap. But that's the other part. Well, if you're using Barkov's money, you don't have a big problem there. There would only be one spot really to try to fix, unless you went out and got another center and put Rodriguez at wing for that third line. The Harbaugh deal is not done yet. Interesting. Jelly says Panthers can upgrade on defense by sending back. Talk to Tex got to you. Talk to Tex got to you, Ellie. Panthers can upgrade on defense. My sending back and Boquist. Vincent said this month will be decided Mackey and Boquist. Next month we're going to know if Crosby's stopping by for a run. That's pretty much it. I mean, Pittsburgh is in a better position we are, right? They're in the third spot. I mean, they're in third place. I don't know. But, I mean, I get what you're saying. In the next month, we'll know. Kachucking around says finding the salary to activate Chucky is still a little bit tricky at this point. So what Jelly was trying to say is Panthers can upgrade on defense by sending back Petrie and Boquist. Boquist is pretty useless since he doesn't even score enough. Our AHL guys will do just fine and others back healthy. Well, we just extended Balinskis, so he's obviously staying, right? So Petrie would be the only possible odd man out at this point. I think we made a pretty big statement there. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much cap space that would create. Not a ton, but it would create some. It'd probably be better to try to trade them, honestly, but I get what you're saying. Scientist says debating about which first liner to use in the third line is a good problem to have. Exactly. Exactly. But Boquist could be the odd man out for sure. Boquist could be the odd man out for sure, because at this point, even though I know you guys tried to troll me about Sam Miskevich getting traded, when I found out that he's waivers exempt, to me that just we don't have to do anything. We don't have to trade him or do anything. We could just send him right back down to the AHL, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. So if we needed to make room for somebody that was going to be more on the offensive side, that's also a possibility. Vincent says, I don't think Zito's going to trade Petrie because it's a bad look, but Petrie may actually go through waivers safely. Right? Borgstrom and Petrie is not enough cap, though. Well, not alone. Not for Tkachuk. Huh. Real. I didn't want John Harbaugh anyway. Right, Vincent. Yeah, I get what you're saying about Petrie, though. I mean, that's going to be our 7 unless something changes. Well, it's not even. Wait a minute. Is that a 2-way contract that they extended for Balinskis? Because that's Ekblad, Forsling, Jones, Mikula, Kulikov, Balinskis, and Petrie is 7. Yeah. Okay. And so that seems to me, unless you're going to, have some kind of swap where you upgrade over Petrie, it kind of seems to me like when Kulikov back, that Petrie would be the one on the bench. Oh, geez, Kachukin's not wrong. We eventually need to make room for Nosek. I have a feeling he's not going to make it back. Certainly the only way we're making room for Nosek is by moving Boquist. And so that's another situation where, and you would need Boquist's money fully off the books, I think. And so you got to be able to see what Nosek is going to bring. He's 33, 34, I think, coming off that injury. I'm just not really convinced. What is he? He's 33. I don't know, man. I mean, I know he was good for us last year in the playoffs, but I think they've got Schwint out there for a reason. Hey, Simon. Yeah, we actually did make it to the gym yesterday. Kyle got to go do his swimming and everything. So we had a good time. Chucking around says, honestly, our biggest problem right now is Nosek being out because he's jumbling most line movements. Well, let's see what Schwint brings, right? Seabass, not sure if you use Buckpedia, but it's pretty helpful for salary cap and seeing who has what kind of contracts. Yeah, I've used them from time to time, sure. That's how I remember. That's how I found out, Samaskevich's waivers exempt. Oh, Kachuk says Roddy's not a center, but that's what he's been playing. He's been playing at 3C, and his face-off percentage is 46.6. It's not, it's not the best that you would want in the world, but I'm just saying, beggars can't be choosers, right? I'm just saying, beggars can't be choosers. It's just a matter of cap space. If Barkov doesn't come back, then maybe you've got some money there to upgrade there. Vincent says Murphy's the cheapest option out there, and it's already over $2 million in cap space. I don't know how, but against Jones, $7 million was a surprise. Yeah. So is it? Hold on a second. We've looked at Connor. So Connor Murphy is 4.4. So his cap, it would be 2.2. You'd have to send Bohlquist back the other way. You know what I mean? Like if Bohlquist and Petrie for Murphy, but why would they do that? You know what I mean? But that to make the money even, Bohlquist and Petrie for Murphy would be an even swap. But that's two players for one. I'm not so sure. Colin says Swint's officially back tonight, but no Kachuk and Marchand, right? Seabass, I like that you can create lines, see if you can be cap compliant for the playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, it gets dicey, man. There's some lineups that you make, and then it's like, oh no, we can't play that combination of players. That's part of the thing, is like you can maybe upgrade over here or upgrade over there. But then, and this is what having Vilmanis play well helps out with, because there's some combinations of the roster where if this guy gets hurt in the playoffs, you can't replace him with Bohlquist or Rodriguez because they make too much money. Kachuk and Marshy -8, Reinhart -12, Bennett 3, Swaggy 3, Lundell 8, Rodriguez 7. Yeah, it's not pleasant, is it? Hey, Deborah. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I wonder where we are. Let me look at this. I want to see where we are compared to not just last year with the standings, but with our goals against and goals for. Let's see. What is that? 13th, 16th. Hold on a second. So last year at this point, we had 55 points. We got 51 points now. So we're still only 2 games off our pace as we were last year. We had 150 goals for and 142 against. And right now, we have 139 for and 145 against. So we've allowed, how many games? 45, 46. So we've played one fewer game. Yeah, we've played one fewer game. So we're only 4 points off our pace, but we played one fewer game. Goals against is almost exactly. Last year, 142. This year, 145. The goals for being scored is where the bigger difference is. This year, 139 at this point. Last year, we were at 150. So about one goal every 4 games. I mean, it's not a huge difference, honestly, at all. In terms of our record, in terms of points, in terms of goals for and against, like it's really not that much of a bigger difference than last year. It's just everybody else has gotten, I mean, quite literally everybody else has gotten good. Colin, how about a Gomanis goal tonight? Need Manis Mania to get started. That would be nice. Yeah. That would help us have a little bit more confidence, right, in him. Science says we do also have to build a 5th solid line for the playoffs. Look what happened last year. Our 5th line ended up being the 4th line for most of the playoff run. You never know what works. So, Vil, yeah, no disagreement there. The problem is fitting it in under the cap space. Like some of these guys that make it back to Charlotte will be that 5th line. Gregor, Studnicka, you know what I mean? That's probably 2/3 of it. And maybe even Nosek. Nosek may just get ready to play, but be out unless we need him. But we can't put him to, can't send him to AHL. Kachukin says the 23-24 stats was Reinhart plus 29, Chucky 19, Barkov 33, Swaggy 17, Bennett 17, Rodriguez 26. Go look at Forsling. I think Forsling was plus 50 something. I think Forsling was like plus 50 something that year. Let me see. Gustav. 23-24. Forsling was plus 56. Forsling was plus 56. Jeez. Yeah. Bucks, yeah, this year it's just changed. I mean, last year on this date, Buffalo 39 points. Now 56 points. That's a crazy thing. Last year, the Wings 46 points. Now 60 points. Canadians at this point last year, 48 points. Now they're at 59 points. Now the Bruins at this point last year had 49. They're at 56. Is there anybody? See, Tampa was at 51, and now they're at 61. The Leafs were at 58. So Florida and Toronto are the only teams worse than they were last year at this point. No, maybe Ottawa too. No, Ottawa had 48 at this point. They got 49. So Florida and Toronto are the only 2 teams in the Atlantic that are in worse position than when they were last year. And it's only by 4 points. It's hardly a difference. Mike says we can't compare last year's team with a full roster to this year's team with 8 missing players. I'm not comparing them other than to say that I mean, we won the cup last year and we were only 4 points worse than where we were at this point. That's all I'm saying is that, you know, as many guys that are out right now, like we're only 2 games worse than we were last year at this point. Yeah, Forsling did that with 22.09 overall. Science says last year our 5th line was Stern, Boquist, Samoskevich, or Nosek, Greer, Gadjevich. A huge difference unless we make some trade. Well, yeah. Well, we just don't know where we're going to be at this point, right? I mean, Boquist might be on that fifth line again this year. We just don't know because we just can't tell. We don't know cap space wise. Yeah. Okay, Mike. Yeah, I get you. No, you don't think Gregor and Studnicka come close? I like Gregor a little bit better. You can get a game out of those guys, but I'm not so sure about running them. You know what I mean? Tampa's missing players too. I mean, sure, everybody misses players at this point. Dave says that's the same as debunking global warming. The ones who panic and think the sky is falling will not be convinced by silly facts. Craig says it actually shows how well the Cats are doing considering their guys missing. Yeah. It's just been frustrating because most nights we don't look like ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's just frustrating. But in the realm of things, in the reality, 26-17-3 was where we were last year, and 24-18-3. I mean, two games with all these players missing. Pretty good, actually, when you look at it from that perspective. Dave says that's because we ain't ourselves. We're missing almost half the team, right? How is Cooley still on LTIR? How shattered was his wrist? It must have been pretty bad. It must have been, and part of that is going to be, necessity. There's no reason to rush him back. We need him fresh for the playoffs. Kulikov's no spring chicken, Craig says we got frustrated last season when they had all the guys, right? Remember sitting there and watching the games last year, and it's like, we're coasting. We're just waiting for the playoffs. Yeah, they're missing a third of the cup-winning roster. Vincent says it's not quite fair. This year they mastered 10. This year they mastered 10, maybe a dozen meltdowns in the third period. That's an ugly picture, and the easiest part of the schedule is already behind us. I mean, you're not wrong, Vincent, in the sense that we could easily have actually more points at this point than we were last year. It could have happened. So we just got to know when we're getting Barkov back, or we got to. We're waiting to know. You know what I mean? It's like everything that we think about doing or want to do or talk about doing. It's. I wish we just knew. I wish they had come out at this point and said, we know he's on pace for such and such a date. Like at some point we'll know, right? But it's just I got no patience waiting for it. Hey, Tipsy. No, we haven't sent Boquist down yet. Scientist says we easily could have been the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, I mean, another couple of guys being out might do it, but give Zito credit, right? Like Balinskis has hung around, and he's really helped out with Jones being out. He's really stepped up in my opinion, playing better, and he got rewarded for it. So it's good to see. Hey, Great White. I know Kulikov hasn't scored. Chucky hasn't scored. Barkov hasn't scored. Nosek hasn't won a draw. I don't remember how long it is. Kachukin says there's definitely a cutoff time. If we're too many points out, we just got to end Barkov's season. Oh, I don't think that'll happen. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I don't think we'll get to a point. And how are you going to tell them? Like, who are you going to tell on this roster that we can't come back from 10 points? Right? In fact, previous year, let's see. Was that, yeah, so the 22-23 season, 3 to 4 to 5. At that point, we had on this date in the 22-23 season, we had 46 points. And we were 6 points out of the 8th seed. And we were chasing Washington, the Islanders, and the Penguins. So we were 6 points out. Now, I'm not sure if I think we had been a little bit more than that out at some point. Yeah, we were even further out than that at some point. At one point, we were like 10, 12 points out. So the point is that even if we're 10 points out, who's going to tell these guys that they can't make, that they can't overcome that? I'm not saying they guaranteed will, but you're not going to get this team to quit. Yeah, exactly, David. 1 cup, 2 cups. Yeah. When's the last time the Panthers in Tampa made a deal? That I don't know. That's a good question, Bucks. I can't remember the last time we traded with the Lightning at all, honestly. Vincent says they just can't afford the march they had last year. They're going to have to win a lot of games. That's the difference. Oh, they are going to have to after the Olympics, they are going to have to come back in playoff mode. That's basically where we're at. Unless we get on some ridiculous heater here before the Olympics, they're going to have to come back playing playoff hockey and just see if we can see how long we can play that brand of hockey before we run out of gas. Yeah, exactly, Real. Yeah, Barkov is the T1000. Yep. Let me see. So that was January 11th. I wanted to see. Oh no, that's previous day. Let's go back a little bit here. I'm looking at the Vegas year, the year we lost to Vegas. And at one point we were 9 points out. At this point, on January 4th, we were 9 points out. So I think that's when we finally started winning some games. Yeah, it was. Let's see, was it January 4th? I think that's when we had that whole thing with Toronto, the meltdown. When was that? So let's see, 49, 48, 46. Yeah, and on January 3rd, we were 8 points out, 9 points out in the year that we made it to the Cup against Vegas. David says we were down 2-0 in the game and down 2-0 in a series. We had to stave off elimination on the road twice. Leafs versus Leafs. A healthy Cat team can easily overcome large deficits. Health is the key. Mike, neither Brad or Matthew were playing tonight. Schwint is in, so we get one back. We get one back. I have a feeling they're not going to play Marchand until Tkachuk comes back, but what do I know? But I didn't think that they would start Tkachuk on the back-to-back anyway, you guys know. So, oh yeah, Craig says Balsers a few years ago, Florida waived and Tampa grab was the only thing I can remember between them. Yeah, I don't know how many times we've ever traded with them. Vincent says, yeah, they're 8 points out at third, so start the clock. Mike, I guess 2 o'clock is when they have to put guys on waivers. So if we put certain guys on waivers at 2 o'clock, then that means we're clearing space for Chucky to come off LTIR tomorrow. Real says, Jaws, the Hurricanes have been winning too much ever since you started watching them. I think you should relax and only watch the hockey on Monday. Forget college football. Nah, it's all right. It doesn't bother me. It's okay, Real. I understand you're trying to give us the night off, but that's okay. How many back-to-backs do we have left? Let's look at that. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. So I know at the end of, listen, we got this back-to-back. We have next weekend. What is that? Or that's Sunday, Monday. No, Saturday, Sunday. So next weekend, man, we have back-to-back. So we play on Sunday, the day that the the day that the NFL's championship games are on. Come on, really? Did you guys really do that? Damn it. Yeah, next week's the AFC and NFC championship games. The Panthers play at 7 o'clock against the Blackhawks. So that's 2 more back-to-backs. February, we've got one to end the thing, right before the Olympic break. So that's 3. We come back from the Olympic break on a back-to-back. That's 4 more. March 5th and 6th. That's 5 more. March 18th or 19th and 20th. That's 6 more. The 28th and 29th, that's 7 more. The 4th and 5th of April, 8 more. 8 more back-to-backs still. Scientists. Yeah, no, they moved the game on Monday to 6. It's still going to interfere, though. It's still going to interfere. It is what it is. Not much we can do about that. So no, Simon, it's not Melbourne, Australia, buddy. It's Melbourne, Florida. It's Melbourne, Florida, bud. So, all right, I gotta roll. I gotta get my work done. Gotta try to get rid of this headache. I'm hurting. I'll be here tonight. Don't worry about it. But I got a pounding headache. So thank y'all for hanging out. Appreciate y'all. And members stream 6:15 tonight, and then the regular game tonight. We're good to go, and then we'll do it again tomorrow too. Hopefully, maybe Chucky tomorrow. Maybe, baby. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys in about 5 hours.